Welcome to an overview of the SME Risk Analysis program. The program is divided into two separate areas: business risk analysis and financial/cash flow analysis. Each of these areas will be covered in a number of modules covering different topics relating to the subject concerned. Traditionally, our conventional approach to analysis and risk analysis is by starting with the financials. The challenge with that is the quality of the information that is available. Absolute certainty, any financial information that anybody looks at is historical, but how historical? 5 years old information doesn't really affect the future of the business unless, of course, there is debt involved. So getting to look at things in a different way is the purpose of this programs. Looking at the financials in respect to what has happened in the business world. Looking at management accounts, audited accounts of a business to see if they can help the business look to the future. Challenges that we face is quality of information. Another challenge that we face is that people focus on viability. And viability, traditionally by its nature, is about the past. The problem with the past is it's gone. A business's future is ahead of it, not behind it. Can the past help in analysing a business? Yes and no. It doesn't give certainty that the future will be the same, but it does give a track record to examine what actions were taken and the cause and effect on the business. We need to take the past and see how it can be reflected in the future. Collateral security has often been a methodology of people raising finance for business. Bankers feel comfortable with collateral, but in no way does collateral make a bad business good. And, as history is starting to prove, realization of collateral by a lender is becoming more and more difficult as time goes by. Collateral should be insurance in case things go wrong. Our biggest challenge is hindsight analysis, spending our time looking backwards when the future of the business is forwards. Returns for investors, the owners of the business, will be forwards. The smaller businesses, their drawings, their wages, is in the future, not in the past. A bank lends money to a business, it's repaid in the future, not in the past. So we have to have a fundamental change in our thought process for looking at risk analysis. And this starts by looking at the business analysis, looking at the environment that the business is in, looking at the industry that they're in, the markets they're in. Look what they have to do to succeed within that industry. The key success factors of a business should be benchmarked, and where they are missing, can the business succeed without them? Competition, new entrants, where will they come from? Remembering that we live in a global market today, are they globally? Are they regionally? Are they locally? Are they nationally? Where is competition or a new entrant going to come from? And how will it affect a business that I'm running or proposing to run? Different markets have different characteristics, not only within the same continent, but within the same town or even village. Depending on the location, the market can be totally different. A supermarket, for example, near a bus station will always have a flow of customers, whereas a supermarket on a main road requires customers to travel by transport. Same village, different risk. Life cycles are an extremely important part of business risk analysis. Looking at an industry life cycle, looking at the business itself, perhaps the markets that the business is in, even looking at the product life cycles that the business is selling or proposing to sell, and the people life cycle. Because people have a life cycle as well. People risk is the most underestimated risk in anything that we do. Qualifications are a starting point, but track record and experience are critical to understand people risk analysis. In some respects, SME customers, the owner, the manager are the same people, or two people perhaps. That has advantages in that decision making is quick, but can have large disadvantages about growing the business for the future. Are the skills in place? Remember, the workers in a business will the ones that will generate the sales and the profitability and the cash flow for the future. The fulcrum to understanding the business and the key to success in any business is understanding its products and services, who supplies them and who buys them. Because the ultimate risk for any business is the buyer, their off-taker. All of these will be reflected, or should be reflected, in the financials of a business.